Hi, this is Marcus Lim from Binter & Company, the technical consultant for Formula Drift Singapore this year in 2009. What we're trying to achieve here is bring the best regional drifters from Southeast Asia and Hong Kong to Singapore to compete under a common platform, under the Formula Drift ProAm platform.
Formula Drift ProAm Series 2009 will be held on the 4th and 5th of July. In an effort to grow the sport in Asia, this year's event will feature amateurs. 37 of the region's best amateur drift drivers are all set to perform, entertain, and compete against each other for top honors.
Alright, so judging criteria for this year actually started as soon as round 1 in Formula D, and we have adhered that judging criteria all rounds, because I also judge for another series up in Canada called DMCC, and we use the same judging criteria. Judging goes as follows. Obviously, we have to qualify cars, so then the only way to qualify them that would be fairly is that we have 3 judges and 4 categories of scoring. Categories of scoring is speed, angle, line, and style. So we broke that down into each judge would basically take care of one criteria, and if you count, that's there's still one extra criteria, and we've spread the points out from there. So long story short, we have 3 judges that would focus on one category of the criteria. So we have Angelo as a line judge, Ernie Fixmer, which is other judge, is not here at this time. He is the angle judge, and I would be the speed judge, for an example. Then we have style. We take the points in the style and we spread it to all 3 judges. So each judge is like a criteria and a half of judging. And after that, we would add the points up together, and the total of his score comes out to what's the score that run score.
So, how different is this year's criteria from last year's? You were here last year, right? Yeah,
last year's criteria, the reason for changing criteria is that last year, one judge would focus on all 4 criteria and come up with a score, a 100-point score. Then we would take 3 judges' score, add it up together, and divide it by 3. But this year, each judge would just concentrate on one criteria for that driver. So it gives them more concentration and time to focus on that one criteria, instead of having to judge all 3 criteria and come out with a 100-point score, when this year it's 3 judges and it's only a third of the score.
You were here last year, so how do you find last year's event, and what do you look forward to in this year's event?
I mean, for starting grounds, last year's event, it wasn't that bad. I mean, a lot of the stuff were kind of just minor. It's like the cars. So some of the cars, the way it's built, it's kind of not safe to spec or up to spec as we speak. And the driving, to be honest with you, it's there. You know, I always say you're only as good as the people around you, so you really have to go out of your way. So if you're practicing with a group of guys that you've been practicing for years, you would really want to switch it up and try to grab someone that's way better than you and get your ass kicked a little bit, so you'll learn right away. But I could say from last year, I have been absent from Singapore, of course, and then this is the first year back. A lot of the cars have cleaned up, so that's really good, because your car is your identity, and that's how you present yourself. So you want to have a cool looking car. Driving wise, I guess we'll have to see later.
In a sport where flashy cars and loud engines receive the most attention, the car tires are often neglected. But in truth, the tires are the only part of the car that is in contact with the racing track, and they are a vital component in the sport of drifting. Stay tuned to Razer TV as we go in depth about these race tires.